620, that's a 310 horsepower, 4-cylinder turbo 4 from a Mustang, a new Mustang that has that. 620 horsepower per ton is like a Lamborghini. Yeah, they actually had a track test and it was that close to the Lamborghini Performante, which is a track biased car. But they use that number. They say, this is how much horsepower per ton you have. Well, if you have that much, you automatically it automatically comes with the S package, which is wider with bigger brakes, different suspension, wider tires, because it's really critical to make sure the front end can handle it. Of course, you're going to put bigger tires on it because it's got a lot more. It's got 3 times the horsepower this does. But the front end is what makes a big difference. Otherwise, you're just going to plow right off the road.
So this is an 06 Caterham
Series 3.
Series 3. So it didn't, this was before they used the numbers?
Yes.
Okay, so it wouldn't be classified as a 360 or a 270 or the
Correct,
new
they
one.
didn't have that at that point.
So this was just a standard S3 chassis with
and as far as I know, the SVT was only ever used here. It's a US spec engine, so you needed it over here to be able to meet emissions, whereas the rest of the world has used all kinds of different engines that we don't have that won't meet our emissions. This was originally called a Zetec SVT.
Oh, okay.
And then later on they said
it's not a Zetec anymore.
They later on, the last year, it was not called a Zetec anymore. It was called something else.
Okay.
And then now the new one is a new generation called Duratec.
Yes, I know that the Duratecs are the new ones. I had a Zetec in my Focus, and that's why a lot of the Westfields that I see for sale and the older ones are like, oh, it's a blacktop Zetec or a silvertop Zetec.
Yep.
And but this is the SVT version. Very cool. Man, it drives so comfortable.
Oh,
Even though it looks like I would get stuck in it, it's very comfortable. And these are, what size are these headlights? Are these 5 1/4 or 4?
Those are motorcycle headlights.
Okay, I thought so.
I think they're like 4 1/4.
Yeah,
the guy that built it put motorcycle front turn lights and headlights, and I get mercilessly bugged about that by people that say that it's not manly not to have bigger ones. It's a thing that you don't paint these black because having them chrome means you have extra rear view mirrors.
True.
Big bucket ones actually do work like that. But I tell them that they can laugh all they want, but I have an extra 2.5 mile-an-hour top end because of these wind cheating designs.
Yes, it's a part of your DRS.
Yeah.
And you run the DRS, and you have solid rear axle or the
no,
Dion?
I have the Dion.
Okay, cool. These are all 14x6?
Yep.
Did you get these wings from Caterham? Or
no,
were they on the car?
A friend made them.
Oh, fantastic.
And in fact, the first time he made them, he was really nice, and he put the Lotus logo on here, and I felt bad because he actually gave them to me. And I waited 2 years, and I said, you know, I'd pay you if you put Caterham on this. Because
even better.
It's okay. I don't mind people that put Lotus badges on because honestly, Lotus doesn't make them anymore. So if you want to call it a Lotus, Lotus doesn't mind. Lotus said, look, you can have you're paying us for it. You make a Lotus 7 and continue to do that. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's call Caterham there. I'm going to call it Caterham here. I have Caterham all over this.
That's cool. So these are just like other. Oh, it's like the laser. Nice, nice.
No, this guy has
a lot of stuff.
And he has a garage that's just like, oh yeah, I got a laser printer. He's got 3 3D printers. One of them's the size of a chest freezer.
Oh, perfect. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I just wanted to do this, and I couldn't do it without it, so I bought one.
Yeah, I'm on this middle class garage goals page, and I'm like, I'm so lower class. You know, different middle class than when I was younger.
Yep.
And these seats are fantastic. The regular seat, and you just run the 3-point belt and never.
Yeah. Since I'm not going to track it, I don't need anything more than that. If I were really picky, I would probably prefer the real leather seats, because these get a little worn, you can tell.
Well, because you have to slide in them.
Yeah.
There's no way in and out.
Eventually they'll have to be recovered. And I'll look at I've been in a couple of the shell seats and I don't like them. They're not comfortable to me. Hurts my tailbone mostly.
Oh, okay.
But you know, when you get those, they have inserts that you can put in that are leather or vinyl or anything that you want. You say, hey, I want leather right there, I want leather right there. You can actually stick it wherever you want to,
right,
and make it comfortable for you. So that works pretty well.
These are like a frame, aluminum frame seat.
Yeah, I've already had to have them. The frame was broken about 5 years ago, and you'd get into it and it'd go clunk.
Oh.
And it wasn't uncomfortable. It was just like, I can tell that it's off by about 1.5 inches on my right shoulder blade.
1.5 inches in a car this small is like...
You can feel it.
It's like sitting in the back seat.
Yeah, that's why I like using Waze on this, because when I get where I'm going, it says, check on the kids in the back seat.
You're like, okay, let me just put my hand behind my head. You don't ever use the full roof. You put it on once and didn't like it, and you have like the bikini top now. That's just. But
and the great thing is that I asked a guy named Lim, who does. He actually fixed the seat. He does really good interior work, but he's kind of expensive. I asked him, and he quoted me for the abbreviated top, $900 for.
Holy cow!
But the benefit is, you know, the guys with 911s, and oh, we can get anything we want because this guy makes it and this guy makes it. Well, if you go to England and call around, Soft Bits 47s made this, has one, it was $250 shipped here. As it was $900 from Lim's. I was like, it fit all the buttons, and it had all the hardware that you need, because you have to, in order for it to really work, you have to have this stuff.
Yeah, it has a little clip.
Yeah, so it all works really well. It all hides.
Oh, and how is that
You're not
attached?
using it.
Does that just go under the regular full tonneau rail?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
It's all designed to fit, so they make everything. There's always 5 or 6 different options. The trouble is, you need to know, okay, is my roll bar, is my whatever it is, exactly like an S3, so I can say, yes, I want the one for the S3, or I want the one for this. Or it's more tricky when you don't have a Caterham, because they're really good about, you know, because I worry, it's like, I'm going to get this, it's not going to fit. $250 isn't bad. $250 I'm going to throw away. Not really crazy about that.
Yeah.
But what I've gotten from them has always been, nope, fits fine.
So they're very well like dimensioned. This third brake light on the car when you got it?
Yep, that was an option for building it. Speaking of build, the build book.
Oh, nice. You keep it with you, or at least you have it in there right now.
Well, it's got things like, what air pressure is supposed to be in the tires? What am I supposed to use for torquing the wheels up?
Oh, what are those numbers? I'm actually interested in that myself, because I don't want to build something and have it go flying on the first day.
Let's see. Wheel boat torque, 55 foot-pounds.
That's not so bad.
No.
And it's,
tire pressure is 20 pounds.
Yeah, because it doesn't weigh anything.
The assembly guide.
Nice.
And of course, you may or may not know the story that in England, they encourage kit cars. We're handy people. We can do anything. Oh, yeah. But if you're going to build the car and not pay us that tax, you can't get instructions. You're supposed to be able to figure it out on your own. So everybody that was building kit cars said, okay, here's a box of parts. Good luck. And you had to call all your friends, say, what do I do with these 2 parts? Because it doesn't look like they fit together. What Chapman did, he made a book that says, you're going to need to know how to take this apart just in case. Here's the book to take it apart.
Yeah.
By the way,
do it backwards.
If you read it from the back, it's an assembly manual, but don't tell anybody. And this isn't like that, but for ages, while Lotus was doing it, they always included a disassembly manual.
Yeah, so that would have been from like 58 or 7 to 72 when it came to Caterham?
Yep. But this actually has, you know, a lot of stuff in it, and much of it doesn't apply. I mean, as you're going through it, you have to go, I don't have that. Oh, yeah, well then you're supposed to ignore that. We're not going to tell you that. This is for everybody.
So does that have like in every option, assembly is kind of what's in there, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't get the heater.
This does not include anything about the SVT because they didn't anticipate that. They thought everybody over here was going to use Pinto engines, I think.
Oh, okay.
But there's wiring diagrams. I have a special, because there was, this is those are the lights.
Oh,
I have a special belt on here because when I first got the car, when you started it up, it would nearly deafen you with a very high-pitched squeal. And the reason is the original Focus that had these engines in it had a slightly different, well, they had room for a different angle. So something about one of the pulleys is angled strangely on this, and it made a horrible noise.
Just in the version that they've got in this?
Just in the Caterham
Not
version.
the normal like SVT Focus
Correct.
version?
In order
okay.
to fit in this, they had to do a couple of things to change things. Well, a guy who was the Caterham dealer in Delaware didn't like that, and he engineered something new that redid it, but it requires a new kind of belt on it. I put it on. He sold me the part and put it on for less than $100. I drove up there, and ever since then, no problem. And I mean, in here, I had to hold my ears to start the car because it was very high-pitched, very loud squeal. And it settled down right after that. It's annoying. And you know, you're always going to start it in the garage, so.
And that's on like every startup. It's not like when your fan belt gets hot later. Oh, it's perfect.
It was pretty bad. He did that, and he's also the one that designed the sump guard. So it's got a steel diamond plate sump guard, and that was like $75, and he put it on for, no, it's just diamond plate. Just stays under there. It allows air above it so it cools it off.
Okay.
But it's stronger than hell. I mean, it hit hard and it bent the edge, but it did not touch the finned plate. So
yeah, that's great. And I have to look at this, your awesome mirror too. Your 4-piece, little 4-pane mirror.
Somebody makes that. I'll send it to you when I find it. Because the guy I bought that from went out of business. The mirror itself it had some name on it because they sold them to SCCA guys all the time.
Right.
The only thing that's different about that is machined pieces to screw onto that and to adjust. It also, I have to put gloves on because it tears up my fingers. And I play a little guitar and it still tears up my fingers with it, even the calloused fingers, because these are really sharp, nicely machined, but hard to move, I saw that. Really sharp. And I always keep my grocery bags back here.
Yeah, because they're economical and efficient for shopping.
Hey, this is the grocery bag.
With the tonneau cover on it, it's actually could put a ton of stuff in there.
I can fill it up and I can get 3 or 4 grocery bags in there.
Yeah. So did yours ever have the additional spare?
No.
No. Okay. So it wasn't a thing that you took off.
No, it's an option on there, and it has a carrier that bolts under it and comes up here.
Ah, okay. And
I'm guessing this is good, and it broke early on, so I never used it. This is the original rearview mirror.
That's...
Okay, you want to know how useful that is?
Not.
It's lower than that.
Yeah, and you couldn't... This is not helping either.
No, it does nothing.
So in here is just this is the top. This is your bikini top, but it's in like a tube, huh?
Yeah, because it doesn't fill it out like the real top does.
Oh, right.
It looked bad, all crushed.
It doesn't flop around and things like that. And this is all just secured with straps and snaps?
Yep. Only Velcro, and it's never moved.
It's blocked off, huh?
Yep. Now, some people, and probably if you don't have these, it's bad. Some people get something I just saw the other day that's a net that stretches between.
Yes.
You've seen them on Porsches and a couple other.
Yeah.
With these, I don't think I need them. I mean, if I was constantly putting the doors on, which I don't like those either, I might consider that. But honestly, like I said, without these, I went a couple of weeks without these while he was remaking them. No, not driving like that. And even with these on the highway, if you try to go 80 or 90, it's kind of nasty.
I bet.
It's not something I would want to do for real long lengths of time.
So you find that this is as effective as throwing the doors on?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For the buffeting.
I don't really get wet. It rained. The Lotus Owners Gathering was in West Virginia last year, and on the way back it rained, so I had the top on. And with the interior blower on and a rag so I could wipe the rain off the inside of the windshield, and the wipers on, as cute as they are, it was okay. And it stopped raining after a while. She was fine in this because she had an air conditioner and a radio and everything.
Yeah, speaking of this, Bob has added all of the lightness. And you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, it's we bought that new in 2007 as an all-red car, and it originally, when we were going to buy it, we looked for a long time, and a dealer in Southern California had 3 cars left, and they were getting out of the Lotus car business. And they had a green one, a silver one, and a red one. And being an old Lotus guy, I said, silver on a plastic car? That looks like you're trying too hard. The green one was okay, but it was dark green and kind of nondescript. I really liked the red one, but it had black interior. And Debbie was buying it for me. And as nice as that is, she says, not sitting in shorts in a convertible car with a black leather interior. No. And I told that to the guy. I said, well, we like it, but we don't like the black interior. And he said, I'll get back to you. An hour later, he sent me pictures of the car with the tan interior pulled out of the green one, and all they did was they took the seats out and moved them, and the door cards.
Oh, okay.
In the meantime, he threw in the center console, which is actually a custom piece, and said, same price, we'll sell it to you like this. We said, we'll buy it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it came with the hard top and the soft top. I left the hard top on for far too long because people were saying online, air conditioner's not very good, but we drove it around all summer. It's like, the air conditioner's perfect. It must be the hard top. So we left the hard top on like most of the first year. Then we took it off and it's like, yeah, it looks pretty good without the top on.
Yeah,
oh, how hard is it to put the soft top on? Not at all. How easy is it to take off and put in the back? Pretty easy. So when we're going on a long trip, soft top goes on. The only thing that I find difficult about this is I wish they designed it so the hard top could fit in the car somewhere. Everybody else can do it. Corvette can do it. Ferrari can do it. But with this, you take it off, you put under the bed in the basement. That's it. This soft top can actually fit behind the seats. It's not great, and you can't get the seats all the way back, but it can.
There's a spot for it in the trunk area too, right?
The trunk can fit it. There's no real place for it, but you can put it back there. But when we're going on a week-long trip, like to go to the Lotus Owners Gathering annually, that's somewhere in the U.S., you can load this thing up all the way up to here on this side. And let me get the key.
Oh, with things.
So it's a surprisingly capacious trunk. Use soft luggage, and she's a good packer. You can put a week's worth of stuff in this easy.
Yeah, for sure. And you got the color matched carbon Kevlar.
Yeah,
covers.
I bought that later on just to make it look something other than Toyota.
Right. Yeah, because that was out of the Celica, the 90s.
The GTS.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good engine, and we talked to the guy who was part of this project, and he said, Lotus makes a lot of engines. They make a lot of engines for a lot of people. But when we're talking about making something for us, having the availability of a Honda or a Toyota engine that's already world certified, that's $10 million that's not coming out of our pocket. How could we not do that?
Yeah. No reason to fiddle if you don't have to.
Right. And it comes with a warranty that Lotus doesn't have to pay for.
Well, aren't they putting the new, like a hopped up Camry motor, the V6 Camry in the Evora and the
Emira?
Yeah. So
they have a
great relationship with Toyota.
420 horsepower out of that in the top of the line one.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I have a friend that got the Evora.
This thing is fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. And your cycle, your fenders are bonded on now.
Yep.
After an adventure. Where,
The first time I drove it and the first time Debbie drove it, we were fascinated by watching the cycle fenders move back and forth until you realize, so that's how you die driving this. Because you're watching the front fenders while somebody pulls in front of you. It was kind of like the first time we had a nav system built into a car. It's like, this is so cool. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be looking over here. That's right.
can we take another quick look at the engine? Is that all right? I'll grab this side.
Yep.
I really like this system of retention. Oh, yours is 2 springs and 2 clips.
Yep. They have a lot of experience with this. Everybody's done a lot of different things, but when you've been doing it for, what, now, 50-something years?
So this is the SVT engine Cosworth fixed Z-Tech.
Yep, from a Focus.
From a
It was bought from Ford.
That first gen Focus from 01 to 07 or something.
This is an 05 engine, I believe. It was bought new, but it was an 05 version of the engine.
And you have the heater.
Yep.
Do you use it often?
Yeah, I've actually had to. Something a friend of mine who's an old skier taught me when I first got it, because I said, I'll drive this until it's in the low 40s. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take it till low 40s. Silk. I have a balaclava. This is my gaiter.
Right.
Wearing this, and if I have to, long johns under jeans with the heater on, I can drive this in almost any. As long as it's not wet out, it's fine.
Then do you put the doors on?
No.
Or you still no doors?
If it's not wet, I'm not putting doors on.
Okay, yeah. Because your side deflectors are very efficient.
Yeah.
Or they just do what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this thing is really cool. Thanks. And I appreciate you taking the time to
sure.
hang out.
Yeah.
And show me the things and letting me drive it down the road.